as you may have guessed, Protea seems to be a lot more powerful than she used to be, and that is the direct result of today's hotfix. So let's have a look at how much more powerful Protea is. Here we are in the simulacra, and we're going to be going up against our standard level 100 Corrupted Heavy Gunners. So we're using the exact same build as last time. Gonna get that shield fan going as well. Get that implosion damage. And damn, we've nearly killed everyone. So that is pretty damn good, eh? So let's just finish off these last few with the heat procs. Oh, and this last one right here. Now, what you may have noticed is that the Blaze Artillery is, for whatever reason, doing 100% crit chance, which is kind of hilarious. This might be a similar bug to when Seeker Volley first came out with Railjack Revisited. If you remember back then, those projectiles had 100% crit chance, and that turned out to be a bug. So let's have a look at the build that we were using back with the very first video that I did on Protea. Here is the build. Basically, I've explained it before, but we're basically trying to rely on energy conversion, intensify, and blind rage, but we're also sort of treating her like a bit of a support WarFrame by using power donation. Now, what I've seen in forums discussing the new version of Protea is that the use of a meta sort of build like this, where you're focusing a lot more on power strength and power duration, is probably the way to go. So let's have a look at the effectiveness of a build like this with our level 100 Corrupted Heavy Gunners. Same strategy that we are normally using. Oops. We're also going to be using the impact of the implosion damage to bring these guys together so that the Blaze Artillery can actually do a lot more damage. But as you can see, it does seem to be a lot better than the old build that I was using. That is definitely something worth considering. The one thing I don't like about that particular build is that the lower range does mean that the grenade fan, in terms of doing some crowd control, is not particularly effective. So what I have come up with is a slightly different build. It's a build like this. This build here, we're actually continuing to have 145% range, and we're actually even going further into the power strength, so the balance is shifting a little bit to the other side. Basically, we're also using something like Augur Message, which is not a mod that I use a whole lot of. Frankly, if I was able to put in another former, which I probably can, I would probably then swap out Augur Message for at least a semi-nerfed version of Narrow Minded or something like that. That way we're still going for extra power duration at the loss of some power range, but at that point we'd probably be going back to using the meta build, if not a slightly stronger version of the meta build. But for now, a build like this is probably the way to go, especially since we are still able to use all of our abilities to the max. So, same idea. And now, with the extra range, we're also able to cover everyone, almost everyone rather, in the grenade fan, so that's really good. And everyone's pretty much dead, and the implosion damage actually seems to mean something, especially not just because of the crowd control that the implosion damage has from the temporal anchor, but also the actual damage itself seems to be contributing a little bit more than before. So, what were the changes that came around with the hotfix? Well, it's very simple. The grenade fan basically had an increased duration in both the offensive and defensive grenade, so that's really good. It does mean that the shield part of the grenade is a lot more effective than it used to be. The range for both of these grenades was also increased a little bit as well. The main change is, of course, the change to the Blaze Artillery. The duration of Blaze Artillery was increased by a second. The damage multiplier was actually doubled, which basically results in how this particular ability is now working against those really high level enemies. And the dispensary has a minimap icon, and the temporal anchor also has 3 seconds of invulnerability tied to it when you first activate it. So that is a huge difference, and it definitely increases the survivability of Protea. So that is pretty much it. The big question now is, how does Protea work against even higher level enemies? Let's say we're going up against the level 100 box stat officers. I'll just stick to level 100 because I don't really want to go too hardcore against that. So even though we're not using the implosion damage, you can see that the Blaze Artillery itself is already doing quite a significant amount of damage, so that is really, really good. And yeah, we've pretty much killed all of them. Like, damn. That is something else. So that's pretty much it. Let me know what you think about all of this in the comments below. Do you think that Protea is in a good spot now? Let me know in the comments. Otherwise, hope you guys enjoyed. If you like this video, hit that like button, subscribe for more WarFrame content, and until next time, I'll see you guys later. Thanks for watching. Bye.